Hey everyone, it's Dan here at J&D Gardens. If you're a new viewer, welcome. Please support the channel by planting that subscribe button. And if you're already a viewer, welcome back. Well, we're here in Camp Compost today, and we want to bring you a short video explaining the difference between an active compost pile and a passive compost pile. So stick around. Welcome back. So here at J&D Gardens, we grow everything exclusively in compost, whether it's the tomato plants in our greenhouse, whether it's all the produce plants in Garden North, whether it's all our canna lilies in Garden East, our marigolds in Garden West, even the rose garden, not to mention all the plants that we sell online. With all that growing, you're going to need a lot of compost. Now, here at J&D, we're generally composting year-round. We have videos, we'll leave links to them at the end of this one. We do composting in the spring, in the summer, and especially in the winter. So we're ready for the for springtime when we need most of the compost. Now, because we need so much, we're generally making active piles. And by that is, we're constantly turning the piles, adding water, adding more nitrogen or carbon, whatever's needed, so we can get that compost, like I said, in a 6-week period. Now, last year, during the winter, we made so much compost, and I think we must have made like over 8 yards. And then in early spring, we started another 4 yards. So we just had so much that we really didn't need that much for the whole rest of spring and summer season. And actually, we still have a lot left over. So we decided to do something over the summer, and instead of doing active piles and turning the piles around in 6 weeks, we decided to see what it would be like if we, here at Camp Compost, we just made it a passive pile. And by that I mean we didn't do anything. All we've been doing is dropping off clippings here, and haven't turned a pile once in 4 or 5 months. We haven't even added water. All we did was leave the bins open so that any rainwater came in. So it was probably, so the piles probably became very passive, meaning because there wasn't any water or bacteria moving around in there to start breaking it down. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, you have a lot of grass clippings. Right, and that's a lot of nitrogen, which helps bring on the active pile. But if you're like us and you're in the Northeast, you know it was an incredibly hot summer, and there was almost like no rain. So any grass that I brought up turned into hay right away. It was so incredibly dry that I think at one point we went like a month with like almost absolutely no rain. And if it did rain, the piles probably didn't get that much because it has to hit this 4x4 area. So these piles have remained passive or stagnant, or whichever we want to say, all summer long. But now summer's over, we're here in fall, and we're probably going to need some more compost once we clean out all the gardens in a couple of months, and to top off the beds. So we figured we have to start making it an active pile. But I wanted to show you, since we're out here, I wanted to show you what a passive pile looked like. Now, we've been constantly we just put in grass yesterday, and it still looks a little green, but a little dry because it was kind of warm these last 2 days. And the piles have actually shrunk. Each time we come out here, they build up this high, but then they'll just kind of compress because they're just, all the weight and pressure is going straight down. But there's probably not too much going on. We're probably going to see a lot of layers, I would imagine, in here of the different things that we've added, whether it be cuttings, grass cuttings, or cuttings from the gardens, whatever have you. So before we lose the light here, let's let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's start with this bin. Oop. Like I said, it's been a quiet summer. I hope it's so passive. I hope there are no rabbits in here. Oh boy, yeah. It's very dry. So you've seen me do piles here, and you've seen steam come out of here. It's actually pretty cool today. It's early fall, and it's pretty cool. So let me just see what this turns out to look like. I'm gonna have to turn all these piles. Now this is all grass on the top. Like that, hopefully no rabbits come flying out of here. That's happened. Okay, pretty dry. You can see, like, incredibly dry. A lot of space here. Now, has it started breaking down? Not really. I see a lot of plants, leftover plants that we just threw in there. Some marigold plants that just died out. Oh boy, look at that. Yeah, a lot of air pockets in here. But yeah, it doesn't look like much breaking down at all. Look at that. Not much breaking down at all happening. You can still make out a lot of grass. Let's see. Yep. No heat. Normally, if you've seen some of my other videos, by the time I'm in the middle of a pile like this, you see, I can feel the heat radiating. This pile is as cold as they come. And that's because, like I said, it's a very passive pile. Let me see what else I got. I mean, yeah. Just kind of grass, kind of. Huh? That's some debris in here. Oh boy. Yep. That is as dry can be. Let's take a look at this pile here. I mean, absolutely no heat. Even if it was remotely active pile, you would feel some heat. I see some matting going on here. Let's see. Oh, okay, some interesting stuff. A little more layering. That's actually a very cool shot. Look at that. You see different layers. What I've been doing all summer. So you have some wood chips over here. You had some old potting soil that I probably did in spring. And then you have layers of grass, different layers of grass over the months that have kind of been slowly breaking down. It's actually rather pretty if you think about it. Let's see if we go a little lower. I'm just, I said, praying that I don't see a rabbit in here. And probably not, since we actually started vermicomposting in our worm farm. We've been putting all our food scraps in there, so that's why we felt comfortable leaving the bins open to catch rainwater, because we have no food scraps anymore, so not too many critters. They don't want to touch any of this stuff. But look at that, isn't that great? Just like if you can kind of make out those layers, like I said, more grass here in the beginning. All the wood chips, look at that. Wood chips haven't broken down at all because it's just been so incredibly dry, no moisture whatsoever. Pretty cool if you think about it. Let's take a look at this last pile. Like I said, we're starting to lose the light here, but like I said, this is a good idea. So we've gotten questions from viewers saying like they're so surprised that I'm able to do a 6 week pile. And that's because if you see in my other videos, we're constantly out here. We're turning the pile, constantly adding water and adding coffee grounds and all kinds of stuff just to keep the pile active. And we regularly get it at 160 degrees, so it breaks everything down. And I said, well, these piles would be steaming normally. But this is what happens for people who don't turn their pile, who don't add water, who don't make sure the ratio of carbon to nitrogen is good. You get a very dry pile that's not breaking down at all. I mean, trust me, any of this brown stuff you see, that's like old potting mix that we have in there. It is absolutely not breaking down. Let me see, this is more grass clippings. Yeah, I got a bunch of old canna plants. Those have no chance of breaking down. Wow, I think I put those, I don't know, some hay. Wow, nothing. And like I said, this is all purpose. Here's a old hay bale from, wow, from last Halloween and Thanksgiving. So you see, nothing's happening here. Just absolutely dry. So if you're looking to, I'm making a mess here, but figure, now I got to pull it all out, break it up. I'll probably bring my tiller out here and run over it a few times to really chop it up a little finer. If you see in my other videos what I do, in order to, wow, look at that. It's like a piece of paper. It's wild. Or a piece of cardboard or a piece of wood, whatever. What you see in my other videos, when I'm doing a compost bin, I usually break the material up very fine. And that's what allows me, I can't believe how dry this is, to turn a 6-week pile. And yeah, this is just, look at all this. It's been here all summer. That's how dry it's been here in the Northeast. Look at that hay. A beautiful color still, and that's probably been down in the bottom there. I started off the pile with that, nothing's happened. I had, like I said, one person write in saying that it would take them like 2 years to for their pile to break down as quick as I can do it in 6 weeks. And like I said, the reason is because it's a passive pile. A lot of people don't want to have to come out here all the time and turn it every week or every couple of days and add water to it. It's kind of like caring for a baby if you think about it. But that's what you have to do if you want to be able to get your pile hot enough. You got to constantly make sure you have water, nitrogen to get that bacteria moving in there and everything breaking down. If not, this is what you get. A very slow breaking down pile. If I left this like this, like I said, it's been here 5-6 months. Let me think. Yeah, about 6 months since I started these new piles, and like I said, nothing's happening. So you don't, if you're not in a hurry for your pile to break for the compost, then this is fine. Let the rainwater come in there and kind of get everything moving, but it's going to be a very slow go. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to, not tonight because we've already almost lost the light here, but we're going to pull everything out. We're going to chop it up a little finer. We're going to add a lot of water, a lot of nitrogen, and really start taking care of it. And hopefully by before the end of November, we'll have compost ready to go. And I think we will. Because I know what you have to do to get things hot enough. Oh, there's a lot of the smell from that from that grass. I know what needs to be done in order to get it hot enough so everything breaks down. And like I said, it's a little care, but if like I said, if you want to save yourself a ton of money, and I've said this before, if you're not composting, you really ought to, because all this comes from the garden. And at the end of the day, I'm going to have over about 3 yards worth of compost that I can use in all my gardens. And then come end of November or December, we're going to be starting a new pile because frost will come in. All the cannas will die out. They'll all be ground up and put in here. And we'll do another winter pile. And hopefully we'll have a ton for next spring as well. So anyway, like I said, I'm losing light here. And the smell is really starting to get to me, so I think I'm gonna call it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this explains a little to you. If you're having problems with composting and this looks like your compost pile, that's why, because you have a passive pile, not an active pile. And if you want to know how to make an active pile, we'll leave some links to other videos that we've done, and you can really see all the things you need to do. And if you have any questions, please leave us a comment. We'd absolutely love to hear from you. And be sure to hit like and subscribe and ring that bell. So from all of us at J&D at Camp Compost, till next time, remember, yes, we can.